we'll do that now. Only have to hit it once, so, okay. Make sure it's going. Okay. All right. Good evening and welcome to the Clark County Board of Education regular meeting of February 27th, 2024. I would like for everyone, if you could please stand for a moment of silence and then we will say the Pledge of Allegiance. And now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Mr. Howard, can you give us a real quick update on the basketball game? Because I know everybody's probably wondering.
So as I left the vehicle on the radio, we're down 2 with 3 minutes into the second quarter. We're up 4. Not that I track these things or was over at the gym just now or anything like that, but we'll get the updates as we go along. But we've got a lot of other things to celebrate today, so we'll get into that in just a few minutes.
Awesome. Okay. So what we'll do now is look at the agenda and see if we need to make any changes, add anything, or subtract anything. One of you want to make a motion, or you want me to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. We'll approve the agenda as written. So we cannot do Ms. McCoy, just skip.
Quorum on the minutes, just maybe.
We got those.
Oh, Miss Richie's here.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Woo-hoo. We'll wait for her. We'll wait for Miss Ritchie so we can approve those minutes. I made it, we're down to approving this minutes right here.
All right, sorry.
No, it's all good. Sorry.
We still need to vote on the adoption.
Oh, you got a vote on the adoption of the agenda? Okay.
We got a first and a second.
Yeah, we just didn't vote
Oh, okay. So we need to go back to that?
We haven't,
That's where
that's
we
where we're
were.
at.
That's where
And
we
you
were.
walked in when we were getting ready to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You made notes. Okay, I got you.
I didn't, Mrs. Smith made notes because she was awesome.
Oh, okay, she's awesome like that. All right, sorry. But you've already called it to order and all that.
Everything's, yeah, we're in
Okay.
session, so yeah.
So who made the motion in the
it.
second?
Billy, motion, I second.
And then we need to officially vote on it.
Did you add the field trip?
It's optional.
Okay, if there isn't.
Also, it's called-
Good. Okay. All right, sorry. All,
I'll
well,
say that.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 4-0.
And that's for the agenda?
Yeah, adoption of the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Was there, did you make any changes?
No,
Okay,
and I didn't do that, so I'm glad you walked in. That's- yeah.
okay. Well, that's what I was asking Dustin, I didn't know.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
All right, consider approval of minutes for the December 12th, 2023 regular meeting. Ben, don't vote.
I know.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from December 12th regular meeting.
Motion by Ms. Hall, I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0 with Mr. Dorsey not voting. All right. Yeah. Consider approval of minutes for January 4th, 2024 organizational meeting. All were present. So, does anybody want to make a motion for that?
So moved.
All right, motion by Mr. Bennett,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Dorsey. All in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0. All right. Consider approval of minutes for January 23rd, 2024 regular meeting. Mr. Bennett was absent.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for that meeting.
All right.
I'll second that.
Motion by Ms. Hall, second by Mr. Dorsey. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0 with Mr. Bennett not voting. Consider approval of minutes for February 13th, 2024 special meeting. All were present.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 13th.
Motion by Mr. Dorsey, I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Consider approval of minutes for February 19th special meeting.
I make a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion by Ms. Hall. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say second.
Okay. Second by Mr. Bennett. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0 with Mr. Dorsey not voting. Okay. We are now to public school recognitions, the fun part. Ms. Bush.
The best part.
That is the best part.
As you can tell this evening, we have a lot to celebrate. We have some wonderful talent in our school system, and we are so happy to celebrate. So we will begin, if that's okay with Mr. Howard, with our Martin Luther King Art Contest winners. Okay. So our art contest winners for particular schools are Miss Molly Matthew from Conkright Elementary.
Let me sit down here too, sorry.
Oh, absolutely, we got all that.
Hold that. There we go.
Look at that smile.
That's it. Me too.
Miss Aubrey McVeigh. And she is from Strode Station Elementary. Miss Ella Howard is from Justice Elementary.
They look really big.
Miss Holly Crow from Shear Elementary. Miss Macy Ingram from Baker Intermediate. Mr. Benton Rogers from RDC. And Mr. Caden Orr from GRC. I bet the larger fellows are probably at the ball
There's
game,
the ball
rooting
game.
us on,
I know
rooting us
Mr.
on.
Rogers is, I saw him.
All right, and Miss,
Yeah. If you receive the work, you come up really quick, we'll get a group photo. Oh, there we go. I'll get down here, we're all on the same level.
Ready?
Yeah,
Here we go.
I need to
Hold up your
hold
certificates. Perfect. Love it.
Mr. Stephen Yang is our second place winner for the Kentucky Heritage Council for the essay contest from GRC. Mr. Yang. I know he's at the ball game. Okay. I know this is, oh, sorry. I'll get it. Can you get it? So sorry. I know this is near and dear to Mr. Howard's heart. This is our Amazing Shake competition. This emphasizes on teaching students manners, discipline, respect, and professional conduct. Students learn the nuances of professional human interaction as well as taught skills such as how to give a proper handshake, how to work a room, how to give successful interviews, and how to remain composed under pressure. And we have 3 outstanding winners. Aaliyah Daniel.
Okay, oh, that's.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Heidi Sands.
saw it.
And Kristen Banks.
You probably gonna get them all together? All right, I'll just stand by, I'll have to get down on this one.
Here you go,
Yeah,
ready?
runs.
Thank you all.
Congratulations, in Atlanta, Georgia.
Do you want me to speak or did you just sign in?
I know
You
that
signed in?
Mr. Dixon had talked about this young lady before in a past board meeting, but we would like to recognize Miss Meredith Fryman. She is our senior bowling expert professional, and we would like to recognize her for all her accomplishments.
Well, Coach, why don't you come up here with us, since you're the fearless leader of the bowling program.
Yep. Great, thank you all.
All right, and now we are at RDC's academic team, which is coached by Robbie Sargent and Travis Walters. These students were recognized in a district academic team tournament and will advance to regional competitions. And these students are Kylie Whitburn for writing composition, art, and humanities. Mr. Timmy Singh for mathematics.
Oh, don't run off. There we go. Yes, we can back up. Now we good?
Yeah, here you go. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Don't go too far. Miss Aaliyah Daniel, and she is also for advancing in writing composition. Jairus Thomas for advance in mathematics. And we also have Starla Gray. She's not here today, but she is advancing in arts and humanities. Miss Caitlin Tackett is for science.
Hey, we have all of you guys tomorrow?
Now we got it.
Ready? Hold them up, good. You move it down a little? Yep, okay, here we go. Thank you all.
Now we go to our staff to recognize, and our first staff member is Miss Covington Jones. She has applied and secured a $6,000 grant from KETSAC. The funds are earmarked for technology. She is a Phoenix Academy staff member. These funds will have a positive impact on program and students by being able to purchase smartboards for classrooms.
Picture time. Okay. Exercise? Don't run off, Ms. Joseph. We're gonna get a group picture with you and Mr. Collins here in just a second.
Mr. Tommy Collins applied and secured a $5,000 grant that partners with the Community Farm Alliance in building a strong Kentucky farm school network. Phoenix Academy is only one of 4 schools who were chosen for this school grant. He will also be working with students that will advance this grant, and it will be like an internship program through him. So please help me congratulating Mr. Tommy Collins.
I'll send you a picture, Tom.
Go just one up.
I didn't know it was two-sided. All right, our next staff member is Mr. Jacob Rigsby. He is from Conkright Elementary. He goes beyond for all students and staff every single day. He is an extremely hard worker and a kind soul. He starts with concerts for Christmas and volunteers in every way possible in his school. His actions are greatly appreciated. His calm and quick reaction time under pressure and his willingness to go beyond the classroom is exceptional. I think you're loved.
Can I just share the story? Sorry.
I think that would be great.
Okay. He will hate this because he hates attention. But Mr. Rigsby came to our Christmas concert as an instructional assistant in December. Did not have to be there, did not get paid to be there, but came on his own accord just to support our kids. And there was an elderly woman that fell and got seriously injured. She hit her head and she was bleeding. And so we had to call an ambulance, but Mr. Rigsby was there from the beginning. He was able to make sure that we called. He was able to go and get a stop the bleed kit. He knew exactly where it was. He brought it over. He made sure I had the correct paperwork to pass on to the family as they were going with the ambulance. He then was able to support our student and get her a stuffed animal and candy to make her feel good enough to stay for the concert, all on his own free time. So we have wonderful humans that work for us in our district, and he is one of them.
Our last staff member today is Mickey Little. He is a GRC counselor. He has been with us before as a GRC counselor and then went with us as a SAS, which is another type of counselor. And he loves us and we love him so much, he is back as a school counselor again. Mickey Little goes beyond and above the scope of a school counselor. He has helped graduate students that have lost hope in themselves or sometimes given up. He has gone to extreme measures in helping young men and women be successful and become what they were meant to be. Thank you very much for your service.
I want to say really quick, Mr. Little has been in my family's life for a long time, and I so appreciate all that he's done over the years. So thank you so much.
Bye, Rigsby family. I'm Miss Caitlin.
See you soon.
So the other news at halftime, that George Rogers Clark 30, Montgomery County 24.
Okay, public comments, I have several, but I think some may have signed in, just thinking they needed to sign in.
I did.
Are you Jim?
Yeah,
Okay,
I didn't know.
are you Tracy's husband?
Yes, I am.
Ah, little learners. We love us some little learners. Tracy's amazing.
Thank you.
My sister works there with her. Amy.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so. Oh, yeah. Tracy's got little learners for years. She's awesome. Laura Sands.
All of the Sands were just here for recognition.
Okay, I kind of figured that because Heidi said she wasn't talking, so. All right, so, well, that was easily, so we're now to Mr. Dorsey. Richard Dorsey. Yeah, not Ben.
Good evening. I want to say thank you to the board for letting me allowed to speak tonight. My name is Richard Dorsey, and I have 3 grandkids in the school system at present. My reason for speaking is because of the unfairness of the tryouts for boys and girls RDC soccer recently completed. Point 1 is that you must be a member of FC Kentucky. Do y'all know what FC Kentucky is? It's a select soccer team. It's kind of a part of or division of WYSL. They've been around for years. Point number 1 is that you must be a member of FC Kentucky Club to increase your chances of making the team. To my knowledge, only one boy made the team from the recreational division, WYSL, a goalkeeper. This shows bias against the rec players. I am told that several boys and girls do not even try out because of this bias. Perhaps these players' families cannot afford the $700-some fee to play for FC. Again, it's an unfair situation. The most distressing thing to me is that parents are telling kids that they didn't make the team to join FC and they'll have a better chance of making the team at the next tryout. My second complaint is the fact that boys and girls tryouts were held indoors. The athletic director told me it was due to the weather, but each tryout, boys and girls, they had one good day available that they could have gotten outside. It's just not fair to the players. The RDC games aren't played indoors, they're played outdoors. They need to have the tryout outdoor where we can assess their ability and speed out on the field on grass. Again, it's just not fair to the players. In summary, I think FC has gained too much control over RDC soccer. The board must watch for violations of fairness in accordance with KHSAA and Clark County School Board standards in case there are litigation issues in the future. The Campbell Athletic Director, Ms. Black, met with me last week to discuss ways our RDC soccer tryout could be improved. With our large 6th, 7th, and 8th grade classes, there are a ton of kids that come out or want to play soccer with only limited spots available, only a girls team and only a boys team. Can we find some way to maybe have 2 teams in the future? There are 2 conferences, maybe we could have a team playing in each conference. I ask the board to ask on these fairness issues and encourage better tryouts in the future, as well as find a place for more players. Again, thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, I thought you said something. Miss Patricia Stewart Hopkins.
Sure, okay. I was going to say, Miss Patricia Stewart Hopkins, I served with her on the Clark County Mental Health Task Force, and our task force wanted to come and discuss sources of strength, and Miss Stewart Hopkins definitely understands all of that much better than I do, so.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the work that all of you are doing, and congratulations. Some amazing things are happening in the community. It's celebration worthy. So one of the reasons that I'm here tonight is because I know that this program has been successful in promoting positive social norms in a place where that can be very difficult. And if there are middle school teachers in the room, can I get an amen? I I know that this is successful because I have worked alongside some wonderful adult advisors for the last 3 years that have implemented this Sources of Strength program, which is not only an evidence-based practice, but it is on so many national registers of evidence-based practice that I couldn't memorize them for my meeting tonight, but you can read those yourself at sourcesofstrength.org. It has been researched in colleges that are familiar to many of us, like Stanford, University of Rochester, Johns Hopkins University. So these are renowned schools, and they have evidence through research that continues that Sources of Strength not only increases positive social norms, but it makes it more likely for students who are at the greatest risk of high-risk behaviors like suicide completion, bullying, and violence. They become more likely to seek help and benefit the most from the program. Additionally, what is different about Sources of Strength today than when Mr. Howard first brought it into RDC is it is available at the elementary level. So now the district has an opportunity to create a prevention program where language can be universal and it builds developmentally across elementary through high school. The elementary version, as you might expect, looks a little bit different than the high school version, which is primarily peer-led, where teens are nominated to participate as peer leaders, where they are equipped and empowered to promote that social change that I talked about, where students become better able to recognize their own strengths, as well as identify trusted adults in the building and learn how to connect their peers to positive sources of strength, but also link them to help. It reduces the stigmatization around help seeking. Anyone in the room that has a teenager knows that they are not always the best at asking for help when they need it from a grown-up. Before I came here tonight, I asked my own teenagers, hey, do you think overall kids know and trust teachers to help them if there's like a mental health something? And my daughter said, maybe, and it depends. And my son said, no. So the good news is that where we can implement successfully Sources of Strength, you have rates of increase in students believing that they can go to adults and have trusted adults in their lives for support. It increases trust and belonging in school communities. And we know that that reduces risk factors for things like substance use. In addition, mental health issues that come up, not just for kids who we know are already at risk, but for all kids. They all have stressors in their life. And Sources of Strength is a prevention program that's also a mental health promotion program, which makes it a lot different. When I have talked to educators in the district, I hear from them that they want to support kids more, but they need help to do that, right? Especially because we're talking about an area of sensitivity that can be emotionally charged and taxing, right? Sources of Strength provides a curriculum that would allow it to be included in curriculum at a very simple, kind of quick level in the elementary grades, and then our kids would grow up with a greater understanding of how to draw upon their own strengths. It would build resiliency, which we all need because we know life is going to be hard and the bounce back matters, right? Additionally, they would have better relationships with people in the community that would support getting connected to help. So I am here as a representative of the Mental Health Task Force. Also as a mom, and as a counselor, and as a teacher, and as a friend to teachers and counselors in the district. Because I think if we implement a program universally across the district, that becomes streamlined and much easier to maintain, right? It's already successful at RDC. In the past, we've been successful at Phoenix. That was thrown off a little bit by something we all don't have to talk about right now. But we have been successful at Phoenix in the past, and I believe that there's no reason that our community can't be strengthened and that our teachers could not be supported if we incorporate this kind of program. You might be thinking, well, how much does that cost? Kentucky Department of Education funds the program. So there isn't a cost associated with implementation. Additionally, there are grants available.
Sorry, I got excited about that, I apologize. I'm back here celebrating, what the score is.
Yeah. There are grants available. There's a specific private grant that we can apply for, and they are earmarked for sources of strength. That's pretty incredible. And sources of strength in Kentucky, y'all. We don't have to share with everybody across the nation or the continents, given it's so widely spread. So, I am happy to answer questions. You can email Dora. She is my partner in the community on the Mental Health Task Force. Also, you can talk to Miss Poston or Miss Brewster at RDC. They are your current adult advisors. They're awesome. And there are 20 students that you could reference at that school this year who are serving as peer leaders. That is what I have for you. Can I answer questions of the board?
You did a great job, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dora, for having her.
You're welcome.
All right, well, now we are on to student learning and instructional service, acknowledgement of summer congressional academy update. Tony Mann.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tony Mann, teach 8th grade U.S. history at RDC. This is my 27th year in the district. And I'm not sure it's my last, it might be, but might have a couple more in me. Justin told me I had to be brief, and anybody that knows me know that's not my strong suit, so I wrote it all down to keep myself focused. And so, for the past 10 years, I've been part of a series of grants through the KEDC, HEART, Aspire, and now EPIC, and they are for history education and providing additional resources for teachers, trainings, and so forth. For the past 5 years, and starting this year, a new one, we've had a Congressional Academy at RDC in the summer that services students. They come in for a week. We do, it's kind of a government camp for a week. We do a lot of really cool things. Some of the things we've done in the past is we've gone to the Muhammad Ali Center and studied Muhammad Ali's Supreme Court case. We've gone to the Capitol and the old state Capitol in Frankfurt, the Kentucky Historical Society, the Bluegrass Heritage Museum, as well as we've gone to visit Judge Neal in his courtroom where he discussed law regarding students, which I think they probably need to hear. We've also, last year, went to the City Hall and met with Mayor Reed, and she did a mock city council meeting with the students so they understand government, and we've done a lot of really neat things in this program. We've serviced over the past 5 years, average about 50 students a year, so somewhere between 250 and 300 students over the year. And this year we've been approved to do 30 more. I'm the only one, so I'm going to be doing it by myself. But this year we're planning on going to Louisville, Frankfurt, and downtown Winchester. We're going to visit the Black History Trail, the historical markers. We're going to visit with the mayor and the county judge executive, and go to the and we're going to be participating in something called the Historical Marker Project, where we're going to study Clark County and Winchester history. During our last 5 years, we've also had virtual discussions with historians from Mount Vernon, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, and twice with Mary Beth Tinker of the famed Tinker versus Des Moines that established student free speech in schools. We've had virtual meetings with her, which was really incredible. She's something else. So I want to come in and talk to you about the program. This year it's going to run from the Tuesday after Memorial Day, I can't remember the date, through that Saturday. I'm going to service about 30 students. They spend 5 days with me. We do some field trips, we do some fun things, and They get paid $200 at the end of it. The KEDC pays them for it. And, but this year is going to be a little different because they're going to be considered apprentices or interns, and we're going to do a year-long project where we're going to find one piece of Clark County history that's not been recognized, and we're going to start the process on creating a historical marker. And that's going to be a year-long project where the students, even though they go to high school next year, they're going to come back once a month. They have to apply for it, be approved, and then they'll come back once a month and meet with me, and we'll work through it. Besides the Congressional Academy through KEDC, last year I was fortunate enough to be selected to take 8 rising seniors to Washington, D.C. free of charge with the KEDC. I chose rising seniors because they were the group that lost their trip on the Friday before we were supposed to leave for D.C. And so I chose 8 of them. This year, I just found out today, I got chose again to take another 8 this year. So we'll be leaving in July 8th and going from July 8th. Last year on our trip, we got to lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. We got to lay a wreath at George Washington's tomb. The kids got to go into the White House on a tour. I didn't get my social security number in time, so I didn't get to go. But they said they got to see 2 rooms and a lot of paintings, so I guess it was exciting. But anyway, it's a great program. It's provided so many really great opportunities and things I've brought into my classroom. I was just, tonight I was on a training tonight from 4 to 5 while I was on my run, and really got a lot out of it. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. So I'll be putting it on the agenda next year, or next month, to let you approve my trip to DC, which you did last year. So that's pretty much what I got. Any questions?
Just that it's a wonderful opportunity. My son completed it, I guess it's been 3 years ago. So he really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
So,
Yeah, that's good. And on a side note, we leave next Thursday for DC with 123 8th graders, so wish us luck.
good luck.
Pray for us. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
It's a lot of kids.
Alright. Consider approval of entrance age policy 09.121 and petition for early entrance to kindergarten 09.121 AP.21.
Good evening. I'm here to present some edits and revisions to our current entrance age policy. The policy you have before you, on my copy, it's red and underlined, the changes that you should be able to see. And these are the edits that we are recommending that we change from our current policy to the policy we are recommending. Underneath of the petition process, we recommend the addition that states children who turn 5 years old after August 1st, but on or before October 1st, may be eligible for early admission to kindergarten. Our current policy does not have any age end date for consideration. After doing this for the last couple of years, we have found that as a need across the district. We have looked at other policies in other districts, and they all have an end date within their policies, so we would like to make that recommendation to add that. And then also under number 1, we would like to change the date of June to May so that we would have anyone who is wanting their child to be tested for early entrance, we would have those names by May. That would allow us to do all the testing during May before school is out. We also like to look at any preschool or any daycare recommendations of that child, and that would allow us to get those before school is out, before some people go on vacation. So those are the edits to that particular entrance age policy. Also, you should have the petition. We have added 2 statements. The first one states that parents have read and agreed to that policy. And the second one is we have changed the name of the screener, so in case we ever change what the screener is, it's just stating that we will screen them, but it's not being specific on what the actual screener is. And those are the only edits to both the policy and the petition.
Any questions, Ms. Pittman? If not, would anybody like to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the interest age policy and petition for early entrance to kindergarten.
Motion by
Yes,
Ms.
first
Hall.
reading.
Yes.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Hall, second by Mr. Dorsey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Moving on, consider acknowledgement of the Math Achievement Fund mini grant.
We are very excited that we have been awarded a Math Achievement Mini Fund Grant, and I'm going to ask Jordan Fultz to give us a little overview of what that grant entails.
Okay, we are pleased to share that all 4 elementary schools received the grant. This is the Math Achievement Fund grant of $40,000 for each school. So super exciting news. Our vision for this grant is to enhance our math instruction to make sure that students conceptualize the math skills. So instead of just going through a curriculum, we're really going back to how should we teach math to make sure that these kids have a complete understanding and can build on that through the Kentucky Academic Standard progression. Super excited about this. So the grant will provide teachers with resources and training necessary to lead problem-based learning. So we're focusing on hands-on learning experiences and making sure students can collaborate with their peers and just really building on each skill as we progress through those standards. A book will be purchased that's titled Student-Centered Mathematics, and that book focuses on really all I just said. And it really gives tasks for teachers to focus on, and it really makes sure that students are going through that productive struggle, giving them time to actually collaborate with each other, use hands-on manipulatives, and really work through the challenge of learning the math rather than just going through a curriculum. We have a curriculum called Envisions, which teachers still have access to. This is just supplementing that resource and making sure we're teaching math the right way. We are actually collaborating with CKEC to provide professional development for the teachers. So we're not just throwing a book at them and saying, here's our resource we got with the grant. We're actually going to lead them through how to use it. And of course, provide that coaching throughout the year.
Hello.
Hi.
So, we're here tonight to talk about the Early Learning Bus Grant that we were so graciously awarded. We're super excited about it. All we needed was a bus from our district, and so we approached Mr. Howard and Ms. Watkins and said, hey, we need a bus. Would you give us one? Sure, we'll give you a bus so you can ride the grant. No. But we wrote the grant. It's a $100,000 grant, and there's a picture of kind of like what the bus is going to look like. So it's turning a bus into an early childhood classroom. And so this classroom will, of course, go out into the community, and we'll be able to go to some neighborhoods that we may need to find some children that may not really know what preschool is about or what we